is additional tasks. So total 5 steps. The first one is requirements, second one is rules, third one is jobs, and the fourth one is running the first risk analysis, and the fifth one is additional tasks. So in these 5 steps, we are going to cover access risk analysis. So we'll be discussing what are the pre-configurations and post-configurations of access risk analysis, and what are the important things, okay, in access risk analysis. By using access risk analysis, what kind of things we can perform in GRC. To perform those things, what are the prerequisites, like how to create a rule, how to create a risk, how to create a function, how to create a rule book, how to map rules to rule book. Okay, these are all basic things we'll learn. And after, we'll run the first risk analysis. So when we are running the first risk analysis, so like what all options we have to select there, and when we get any risk, what kind of remediations we are going to take. Are we going to create any mitigation control? If you are creating it, how will you create the mitigation control, and what are the approval processes and all, we'll be seeing in this session. So site heating requirements. In the requirements, there are around 3 to 4 steps we have to do. Okay, because to make the system, GRC system ready to work as a risk analysis and remediation system. Okay, that means access risk analysis system. We need to do some pre-configurations. So those configurations will cover in requirements tab. So the first one is verifying default configuration parameters. And the second one is adding connector to auth scenario. And the third one, enabling rule set. Then the fourth one and last one is generating rules. So these are the prerequisites, okay? These are the prerequisites of access risk analysis. So first thing, we have to verify whether the default configuration parameters are configured in the system or not for access risk analysis. There are default configuration parameters for each and every tool in GRC. We have how many tools in GRC? We have 4 tools in GRC. Access risk analysis, access request management, emergency access management, and business role management. For all these tools, we have different parameters. So what is the use of these parameters? These parameters will design your pages in GRC. Like, see, for example, when you are logging into the system, you will use one user ID and password. But the password, you can set some parameter value, like there should be one minimum one caps letter and 3 digits, 4 digits, and there should be a special character like that. So you will set some parameters to your password, right? So like the same way, when you are working with access risk analysis, in that screen, you can configure some default values which will populate once after you click on that risk analysis tab. These fields will fill automatically. So some of the fields should fill automatically. So those fields and those kind of settings you can do in parameters tab. Okay. So once we go there, you will be understanding it better. So go to SPRO transaction. So the first one is verifying default configuration parameters. So go to SPRO/SPRO. Since you are not in SAP easy access screen, you should use /n. Okay, no SPRO. Okay. And then SAP reference IMG. Ganesh, if you want to note down, you can take some time and note down. I don't have an issue.
No, I'll again means I will play your recording and then I'll note it down. So that way it'll be a revision for me. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. So governance, risk and compliance, very good. So from there you go to access control folder.
Yeah, it's a bit slow. Yeah.
So if you see the first one, maintain configuration settings, right?
Yeah.
Access control, Maintain configuration settings. So guys, I just want to tell you, next to that execute button, you have one document with glass symbol, right?
Yes.
If you click there, you will get the complete details of that particular tab. Just click there. So see here, you can maximize it. So here you can go through this. Like in this customization activity, you maintain the global configuration settings and parameters used in the access control application. Why is saying access control? Because there are 4 different tools. So for the 4 different tools, we'll be doing the configuration settings from the same tab. So that's why he is just mentioning access control. Okay. The activity includes settings for following parameter groups. The first one is change log. So GRC system will collect all the change logs. So when it is collecting the change logs, what kind of parameters it should follow, and mitigation. When it is performing the mitigation, what kind of parameters it should follow. Risk analysis pool, workflow, super user management. That is for ERM, right? Sorry, not ERM, EAM. And the next one is UAR, user access request review, performance, risk analysis, access request, role management, risk analysis, risk terminator, access request role selection, access request default roles, access request role mapping, SOD review, this is what we are going to do now, and LDAP, this is for portal and all, and assignment expiry, this is for BRM, access request training verification, okay, this is for ARM, authorizations, this is for ARA, access request business role, this is for BRM, sorry, not this is for ARM, and management dashboards and reports, this is for reports and analytics, this is for auditing, SOX auditing, access request validation, this is for request. So it will give you the complete steps how you have to follow and what kind of things you have to perform in this. So better when you are working with these tabs, just click there and see the descriptions as well. Okay, most of the things you will get. Yeah, you can close this window. So we'll go there and see. Okay, so now click on maintain configuration settings. So here guys, I'll tell you one thing. Here you have some different tabs. The first one is parameter group, parameter ID, parameter value, priority, and description. So each tab is its own definition. So the first one is parameter group. This parameter group, it's actually, for example, if you see risk analysis, okay, in the risk analysis, you will be having so many parameter IDs. So many in the sense at least 4 to 5 parameter IDs will be available. So this is a parameter group you should select, and once you select the parameter group, it will ask for a parameter ID. So for example, if you say risk analysis 1023, this is the parameter ID. So what is the description of 1023? This is the description at the last. This is the description of parameter ID 1023. This is default report type of risk analysis. So what is the default type of report or default type of risk analysis that you want to do? Okay, the parameter value you should select it. So this parameter ID is for default report type of risk analysis. So when you are performing any risk analysis, which default report type you want to select. So you can choose this option from parameter value and you can select it. So whenever you are performing any risk analysis, okay, it will come here and it will check, okay, what is the default parameter value for risk analysis? Okay, default report type value for risk analysis, and it will apply the same criteria when you are performing that risk analysis. Getting my point? Like the same for 1024. If you see that default risk level for risk analysis. So what would be the default risk level when you are performing the risks at the final report? Do you want to see only high level risk, or do you want to see only low level risk, or do you want to see only medium level risk? What kind of risk level you want to see when you are performing the risk analysis? Okay, and the next one 1025, which is very important one. If you see that default rule set for risk analysis. So when you are performing the risk analysis, by default, which rule set should be selected there? By default, I mean, you don't need to tell GRC system like select this rule book or select that rule book. If you apply the setting here, GRC system will itself check and it will take the default rule book. Getting my point?
Yeah.
Is it confusing?
No. So these values we have to give, right? Means basically, suppose if I wanted
These
to have,
values you have to give.
no, what
Yes.
my question was, sir, like high risk, low, medium risk, low risk. Suppose if here I put star, right, means that all the risk type should come in, right? Whether it is high,
Yes.
low, medium. But if I wanted to see only high, then instead of this asterisk, instead of star, I should put here I or whatever that number. Is it correct?
Yes.
My understanding? Okay.
That number. Yes, yes, yes. That is correct. That
Okay.
number you can get it when you click on the search button.
Okay. Yeah.
These values are already defined.
Yes, sir.
Here
Yes.
you can select and you can give whatever you want. You can give.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So see, for the if you see the first parameter group, that is for risk analysis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There are 15 parameter IDs for risk analysis, right? So when you are performing the risk analysis and remediation, that is nothing but access risk analysis. Very important parameter group is risk analysis, guys. Okay. So risk analysis group, for this parameter group, for this parameter IDs, you should select the values. Normally, this is a training system, so that's why these values are already updated. But these values, normally, if that is a fresh GRC system, you should select this value, risk analysis parameter group, and you should select the parameter IDs, and you should apply the parameter values. Okay, so I'll show you how to apply parameter values and what is the importance of all parameter IDs which are for risk analysis. So just click on new entries, Ganesh. Okay, whenever you want to apply any new parameter value, you have to click on new entries. Okay, and now select the parameter group as risk analysis. So there are so many parameter groups. If you can see there are so many parameter groups. No, that is for access request. Yeah, this is the correct one, risk analysis. So now guys, I'll click on parameter ID. Okay, click on search button. You can see here the different parameter ID values that are for risk analysis. So first we'll see. So parameter group number is 03, guys. Okay, for risk analysis it is 03. So you should remember this, guys, because if you are claiming that I worked on implementations, definitely they'll ask you what is the parameter group for risk analysis number. They will ask number. So at least you should remember 03. And they will ask the parameter IDs. What are the important parameter IDs for parameter group risk analysis? So I'll tell you the important ones. Okay, but these are all not important, guys. There are some important values for this. So note down first the important ones, then we'll discuss the each and everything. So for risk analysis, the important ones are 1023, 1024, 1025, and 1026. 1023, 1024, 1025, and 1026. These are the most important ones for risk analysis. Okay, so we'll go one by one now. So 1021, the parameter ID 1021, if you see the description, it is for consider org rules for the other applications. Like when you are performing risk analysis, do you want me to check the risk analysis for org rules? Okay, org rules, I mean, we have not discussed about org rules. Org rules are nothing but in security, in R3 security, we have organizational values, right? Company code, plant code, purchasing organization, shipping point. These things are org rules. Have you ever heard about this? Org rules or org values in R3?
Yeah. We covered
We have
that.
discussed it, Gary.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you want to, normally this GRC system will perform risk analysis for transactions and authorization objects. So if you want to include org values also, then you need to select this risk level, I mean risk analysis, and parameter ID 1021. Double click there, Ganesh. We'll see the parameter ID, parameter values. We'll see 1021. That is the user parameter value. Now, yeah, let's click there. So yes or no. Okay, if you want to apply, like GRC should check the risk analysis for organizational values as well, then you need to select yes. Otherwise, you can map it as no. If you're mapping it as no, There is no point that you have to, select this parameter ID at all. Don't select the parameter ID at all, okay? So this point you have to discuss with business guys, because you cannot really, for I told you 1023, 1024, 1025 and 1026. These are the important ones that you can take the decision and you can fill up. But the other values which we are discussing now, you should discuss with business. You should discuss with your counterpart, like the person who is sitting in business, who is having security knowledge. You need to discuss with him. Boss, this is the use of this parameter ID. You want me to apply these settings for GRC or no? You need to get these inputs from him. Okay, so at the requirement gathering phase, initial days, okay, before configuring all these things, you will be performing requirement gathering phase. So in the requirement gathering phase, you need to collect all these information from the business. Getting my point?
Yeah.
Okay.
So no.
So now select S. No or S, anything you can for. So we'll not save it because these settings are already saved. So yeah, there is no point of saving it, but we'll just select everything. And the next tab, select the risk analysis again. Yes, it's the third value. Yeah. And now click there. So I'll just explain you each and everything now, then whatever you feel important, you can select that. And 1022, if you see 1022, that is connector for which object IDs may be maintained case sensitive. So if you want to, for example, some of the objects in the system, okay, some of the objects, that means rule books or rule sets or something like that. If you normally GRC is not case sensitive, guys. GRC system itself is not case sensitive. Okay, it can take any letter, but it's not case sensitive. But for some critical rules, if you're creating a critical rule, okay, SAP is advising to create it in caps letters, all caps letter. If that is really critical rule book, if you're creating a rule critical rule book, then SAP is advising better create it in caps letter. So when you're creating it in caps letter, okay, so if you want to perform risk analysis only for the critical rule books that you have created, depending on the case sensitivity, then you need to apply this parameter value. But this is waste parameter. I have to never configure it in the system. Till this point, I never configure this parameter in the system, but it is the use of it. Sometimes if you have very critical rule books for financial things or for vendor things, so in that case, SAP is suggesting that better create the rule book in caps letter and apply this parameter settings. So when you are performing risk analysis only for the critical rule books, this will help. But in real time, will not perform only, will perform sometimes, but majority of the times will perform risk analysis with all the global rule books only. Will not perform risk analysis only for the critical rule books or only for the medium risk rule books. Will not do in that way. Will always perform the risk analysis for global rule books. Getting it? And the next one is 1023. That is default report type of the risk analysis. Okay, this is something important. Just double click there. 1023. So you can select the report type, the default report type from here. Yeah. So you can see the parameter value, then you will get to know. So the first one is action level. So when you are performing risk analysis, okay, what will be the report type? That means you want me to perform risk analysis at action level or permission level or critical action level or critical permission level or critical rule or profile level or analytical report level, mitigation control level. There are so many values. So you can select any of them. Then when you are performing any risk analysis, by default, GRC system will perform risk analysis at this level, action level. Action is nothing but transaction, guys. Permission is nothing but authorization object. So you want me to perform risk analysis for transaction level or authorization object level or critical transaction level or critical authorization object level or critical rule level or profile level. Which one? By default, at which level I should perform the risk analysis? Okay, normally it's always action level. But you can select, guys, see, by default, it will be selected in that screen. If you want to change it, you can change it there itself. This is a by default, it will take action level. But at the time you want to perform it for critical action level, you can change the options there. They are in the front end screen. Getting my point? If you're not getting it, what I'll do, Yeah, just double click there,
Here.
select it. Yeah, action level. Yeah, okay, click on okay.
Yeah, it has come, sir.
Okay, taking time. Oh, okay. Screen is very somewhat slow. Okay, then now, yeah, you have selected, right?
Yeah.
Do one thing in the transaction screen, /O and WBC.
/O.
O and WBC. So if you give /O, a new window will open, okay? It's not coming. Give NWBC. Yeah, it's coming, yes. This is which ID? GRC ID, na?
Yeah, GRC demo 8.
So assign all the roles to this ID.
Yeah, it is there already. The first class itself we checked. Yeah.
No. GRC roles are not assigned to this. Okay, so come to SAP screen and go to SV01. Give this ID. Go to change. Roles. It's having all the roles, but it's having every range. Okay, just click on that SAP GRC underscore base. Double click that.
Here, right?
No.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, just double click there. Yes. User. Yeah, user comparison. Complete comparison. Yeah, I can close this. Okay, come back. Yeah, now that SAP GRC underscore all, double click there. Yeah, it's already compared. That's fine. And you can come back. Okay, SAP underscore. Okay, you come down. Come down.
NWBC, there is something.
Yeah, you can check that role. Yes, do user comparison. So these are the troubleshooting things, guys. I mean, when you are not able to see anything in GRC, this is the way you have to check. Okay, and come back. Yeah, you can check that end user role.
End user. Okay. Yeah, it is green.
Yeah, it is done. It's fine.
Shall we see this risk analysis something?
Yeah, check that.
Sir, one thing we are comparing with the user GRC user 22 somebody. Who is this? This the main user or GRC user?
No, that's actually now see if you see the screen now, the user is changed, right? The
Yeah,
GRC
yeah,
demo
yeah.
8
Yes, yes.
because it was the last person who did that.
Ah, okay.
Okay, you can come back now and execute NWBC. We'll see whether it is working fine or not.
I'll close this.
Yeah, you have to close this. Can give slash NWBC. No, save it, sorry. I have to save this user. You're getting only cockpit roles. So maximize the screen. Let it come. No, we are not getting that screen. This is actually the SAP screen, that's it. This is not the actual screen, so there are some other roles missing. Yeah, go back. We'll see it in the user screen. Yeah, SU01. Yeah, change. We'll do one thing. What we will do, we'll delete all the roles from this user first, and we'll assign the roles again because this guy is having lot of roles, which is not advisable at all. So the first option select. It's there in the select all. You know that select all, right? The third one. Yeah, select all. Now click the first one. Yes, click there and save it. Okay, now go to change mode again. Okay, roles. And just go to profiles. We'll see is there any profiles. Okay, that's fine. These profiles are okay. And go to roles. Okay, click on that search button. Star GRC star. Give star GRC star.
It's capital. I'll keep capital.
Anything is fine. Star GRC fine. Okay, so give that SAP GRC FN all FAC SAP GRC FN base, and the next one, the 4 roles: GRC business user, GRC display.
FN, yeah, FN.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, click on enter.
Click on
Enter.
Okay. Huh.
Yes. Okay, now just check the roles whether these are, yeah, user comparison is done. Very good. Come back.
Come back to which screen? Okay.
Yeah, come back to the user screen.
Huh.
Save it. Now execute NWBC. See, now you can see these roles here, right? So now note down, guys, these are the important roles. Okay, it's not GRAC roles, it's GRC roles. Okay, GRAC roles only give you authorization for access control thing. You should have GRAC, okay? So SAP underscore GRAC FN all, SAP GRC underscore FN base, SAP GRC FN business user, GRC FN display. So these are, I mean, the access is different from one role to another role. So if you want to perform administrative access in the front end, this is NWBC. In front end, you need to have this GRC FN underscore all power user role. But the next one, GRC FN underscore base, okay, this will just give you the basic access for GRC. Okay, you can do some changes also. This will give the basic access. Business user. So business user, he will not be able to see all the screens that a power user will be seeing. Okay, so you should give this business user role only to the business users, not to the GRC consultants. For business users, you should not provide this power user role. Okay, and the second one is GRC display. If you need to give this GRC display role access to all your managers and all. So sometimes your managers will log into GRC system and they'll fetch some report. So in that case, you just need to give GRC FN underscore display. But for you need to have these 4 roles. Okay, since you are an administrator. Now don't click on NWBC. Now click on the role SAP GRC FN underscore base. So whatever role you have assigned to that user, you can see that in a workset format here. So these are the workset formats. In front end, you can see it as workset format. Whatever role you assign him in the back end, you can, if that is a GRC role, you will be able to see it in this format. This is super crazy. This is good, really. And now click on SAP GRC FN underscore all, FN underscore base, anything, any role would be fine. Becoming the same screen. In which role you have clicked?
FN underscore all. I
just close it.
Yes, sir. It's SAP GRC FN underscore all.
Yeah, that's true. I have seen that. But close it.
Ayo.
I'm not sure what these guys did actually. Okay, NWBC. Go to NWBC again. It should not come in that way actually. It should show you some GRC screens. Bhaskar, you there? You're getting us what we are trying to achieve here.
Yeah.
Okay, click on that display role, GRC display.
It's doing something or? Yeah.
This is a training system, right? So that's why when we are, no, GRC is not working at all. So they did some settings in the system. We have to check that. So close this. We'll go to SPRO and we'll see what kind of changes they have made to the system. Go to SPRO. I think they might have deactivated these services. Go to governance, risk and compliance folder. General settings. Activate applications in client.
Access control.
It is active only, right? Access control, it is active.
Can I put these two also active? Not required.
Yeah, you can do that, but access control is there. That is fine. You can.
Yeah.
So come back.
Set up transport.
The next, go to come down.
Workflow something, shall we see?
Workflows. I mean,
No.
these settings will not be there. That's fine. And go to common component settings. Okay, integration framework. Click on maintain connections and connection types. Connectors and connection types, second one. This is all fine actually. Come back. Just check the ICF services SICF transaction / NSICF. Just check whether those 3 folders are activated or not. Yes. Execute.
Here GRC, right?
Yeah.
NWBC.
No, not like that. Just go up. Go up.
Public. Huh?
Yeah. So in SAP, the first one is public. Okay, right click public. Select public, right click. Yeah, it's activated, no issues. And select BC and GRC like that and check.
BC. Huh. Active services. Something happened.
Come back. That's it.
Array. It is activated. Yeah.
All are activated, eh?
Yes, sir. Shall I
Then what do you
stop
think?
once and one more, like, try to do one more time, deactivate it, and then again activate all these 3 folders once again?
No.
Not
It's not. Now go to SU01.
change, right?
Yeah. Here. Sorry, yeah, I missed your screen. Where it is? Yeah. Okay. Search the roles. Actually, these are the basic roles we should have, but I'm just checking why it is not coming the GRC screen. Why you are not able to see GRC screen? Yeah. Click there. And now search for GRAC role. Start GRAC. super admin for access control, GRC base.
All. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Display
Yeah,
access to
display
all
all.
objects.
End user, NWBC.
NWBC. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Enter. Bhaskar and Ganesh, can you do one thing for me? See, if you're able to see the GRC screen now, just do one thing. Create a customizing role, one single role by copying all these roles.
Okay.
Save it. Because these guys are modifying the standard SAP roles itself. So it will be difficult for us to identify who modified it and when they modified and what kind of changes they have made in the system, since there is a training system. So we'll do all our settings initially, then we'll see. This thing should be really wasting our time. Yeah, now execute NWBC. You are doing all these things in the same client, right? 200 only, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, fine. Can you click there? GRAC display all or NWBC? Yeah, click there.
Yeah, now it has come. Report and analysis, access management.
Yeah, maximize that. Okay, so fine. This is so normally this is the NWBC GRC screen we'll see. Okay, so these things here this setup, access management, reports and analytics, right? These three tabs and my home, we call them as work sets. Okay, these are the work sets. So each work set will have different work icons. We'll be having different work icons. These are the work icons: work inbox, application help, my profile, and my delegation. So these are the work icons for work set my home. Like the same way for setup, for access management, reports and analytics. For every work set, you will be having different work icons. So here, I will explain you NWBC later. Okay, what all the important options here and all, we'll see that later. But just click on setup work set. Here, if you can see the first one, access rule maintenance, and the second one, critical access rules and organizations, and next one, generated rules, okay, exception, access risk, mitigation controls, organizations, super user access management, super user maintenance, access owners. So there are different work sets that are you can see in setup screen. Am I accessing your screen?
No, I'm moving up.
Okay.
No,
Here,
you want me to
I'm
give
doing
that?
it here, so I thought I'm doing it. No, it's fine. I don't need it. So here, we'll do all our access risk analysis activities, and by using the first work item, that is access rule maintenance. So by using this access rule maintenance, we'll be creating the rule sets, functions, and access risks. And you can manage them to add to the global rulebooks and or the customizing rulebooks that you'll be creating. So all the initial configurations, those are called post configurations of access risk analysis, we'll be doing in this tab. Okay, if you want to perform any report, that we will do it in reports and analytics. Go to reports and analytics. Yeah, we have a separate session for NWBC. Once we have finished the pre-configurations, okay, today, then we'll discuss about the NWBC. I have to explain you in detail of everything here. So here you can find all the reports. You will perform all the reports here. So if you can see here, access risk analysis reports, ARA reports.
Yeah.
The second work item, ARA reports. Okay, so can you select that user violation report, user risk violation report in that same tab, user, yeah, no, not in this, not access
User.
request, access risk analysis report. Yeah, user risk violation report. Click there. And now I just need the screen hello once.
It's coming or not?
No, it's not coming. You have to click on hello once. Because normally pop-ups will be blocked by this Internet Explorer, right? Yeah, now click again. You can click on user analysis also, anything. User risk violation report. You can click on user analysis. Above there is a user analysis, right? Click there. Okay, this is also fine, no problem. This is user analysis, user level. Okay, this is user level. So guys, normally when you want to perform any risk analysis, okay, you have to come here. The first thing you have to select the system. You have to select the user, user group, custom group, risk level, rule set, user type. So these many things you can select. So by default, if you can see here, the risk level we have discussed there in the parameters. So if you select the risk level as high or medium, that option will be selected here automatically. If you select the rule set as global there in the parameter settings, that global will come here. If you select the user type as dialog, that dialog user will be selected automatically here. So we have selected action level there. Did you remember that for 1022? We have selected at action level type, user risk analysis type, we have selected action level. So if you see the type, that is access risk analysis, action level. Type, there is a type, right? Come down. No, not user type, normal type. Yeah, that one only, yeah. So it's here access risk analysis selected. If you can see action level, it is selected by default. Why? Because we have applied our parameter settings in SPRO. So that's why it is selected by default. So here, whatever option you want to come up by default, you can do those settings. You can apply those settings at your parameter values. So this is the use for applying those parameter values there. Getting my point now?
Sir. So,
Bhaskar, is it clear? Bhaskar is not there? Okay. No. Yeah, Ganesh.
Bhaskar is there. He's on mute, I believe.
Okay.
Bhaskar?
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, he's unmuted.
Hello?
Bhaskar, can you hear us? You there or not?
Yeah. I'm here only, but my internet is a little bit slow today.
Yeah, network is slow.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you getting my point? Why we are applying the parameter values there?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the use.
This part is clear to me because I'm using this for last in 10. Because I'm the manager, so I'm regularly doing this.
Great. Okay, so you have seen the front end screen, so you just wanted to know what kind of settings we will be applying in the back end. That's it, no?
Yeah, right.
Okay, that's fine. So Ganesh, you clear now, right? I mean, why we are applying the settings at parameter level?
So basically, whatever parameters as part of the
you were asking me something. Sorry, I didn't get you. Can you come again?
Krishna, me?
No, Ganesh, you were saying something. Can you come again?
So what I'm saying is this default, as part of the configuration settings, whatever we give their values, they will come default here. And as part of execution, like day-to-day job, if anything need to be changed and run the report and then see that what we can do, right? Like what I'm saying
Yes,
is,
that's
yeah,
what I'm telling. You can do that.
yeah.
You
So
can
I can
change.
select other one and then do it. It's only default settings we are putting it instead of blank. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's it. Yes. You can change that. So now go to SAP screen again. I just wanted you guys to know if you are doing changes there where it will get affected. So that's why I've just waited 15 minutes to catch the screen. Okay, now go to SAP screen. Go to SPRO. Yeah, same folder, governance, risk and compliancy. So in that you have to go to access control folder. Maintain configuration settings.
New entries,
Yeah,
right?
now click on new entries. Yes. So yeah, now go to parameter group as risk analysis. Yes. Yeah, parameter ID. That's it. So if you can see here, now we'll get to know. See that 1023, that is default report type of risk analysis. So that is if you select action level or permission level, it will be selected by default there. And the next one is 1024, that is default risk level for risk analysis. High, medium, low or something. If you want to select, you can select that. Oh, we have finished that, Ganesh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And 1025, default rule set for risk analysis. Okay, we were saying global rule set is already selected there, right? So if you want that to happen there, you need to first you need to apply that parameter value 1025. 1025 default rule set for risk analysis. You can select global one, or otherwise if you have any customizing rule set which is already created in the system, you can select that. See, now we have some customized values also here, like demo rule set, global, customizing, MK underscore ARA, RVSM, new rule set, SU01 and PFCZ conflict. So these are the rule books that they have created. So if you want to apply global rulebook as your default rulebook for risk analysis, you can select global, or otherwise you can select other one and click on OK and save the changes, so that will be applied there. Okay, this is fine. And the next one, 1026 default user type for risk analysis. So risk analysis normally will be performed with the user type of dialog. Okay, we have five different types of users, right? Dialog user, reference user, system user, communication user, and service user. So if you want to perform risk analysis for all the users, you can select 0. Normally don't perform risk analysis for all the users, because in every system, system users and communication users, you know the use of system users and communication users, right? These users will be logging into the systems in the back end, not in the front end. They'll not be able to log in by using SAP GUI option. So normally most of the clients will have SAP and SAP all and SAP new assigned to these IDs, whosoever is created in the type of system and communication. So if you perform risk analysis for all the users, you will find a lot of risks for this communication and system user, because they are mapped with SAP all and SAP new. So, but there is no criticality, because these users will not be able to log into the front end system. Front end in the sense, by using SAP GUI, they'll not be able to log in. So there is no risk at all by providing SAP all and SAP new to these IDs. So that's why SAP advising you, and I am advising you not to select all, always select dialog users. Okay, as a default option. But whenever you want to perform risk analysis for any other users, you can change it from the front end screen. System will allow you to change it. Normally this is just a default option which will appear there. If you want to change it, you can change it. That is 1026. And we'll go to 1027 now. So till 1023, 1024, 1025, and 1026 you have to remember. Okay, what is the use, and what is 1026, what is 1025, what is 1024, you have to remember that. But from here it is not really important, guys. Then 1027 is enable offline risk analysis. So risk analysis we can perform in two ways. The first one is offline risk analysis and the second one is online risk analysis. So when you are performing in the risk analysis, normally where you perform risk analysis in GRC system, you will perform the risk analysis for other SAP system and non-SAP systems, right? So from GRC system, you will be performing risk analysis for other SAP systems. So for example, system A, system B, system C is connected to system G. System G is a GRC system, and system A, B, C are the R3 systems. So these three systems are connected to GRC. Okay, now I want to perform the risk analysis in GRC system. So if I want to perform the risk analysis in the GRC system, the first thing is that I need to have the transactions, authorizations, and user role mappings, all this data, the transaction data, authorization data, user role mapping data, change documents data, and transaction usage data. All this data should be present in the GRC system. Otherwise, I will not be able to perform the risk analysis, because in GRC system, we'll be having virtual folders created for each and every other backend system. Okay, in GRC system, there are some virtual folders. In that virtual folders, this R3 data or BW data, or portal data, or SRM data, CRM data, this data will be saved. That is a virtual folder, that is not a physical folder, and data will not be stored in there. But the virtually data will be placed in GRC. So whenever you perform any risk analysis, what will happen, like GRC system will check for the virtual folders. For example, if you want to perform risk analysis for system A, GRC system will check what is the virtual folder for system A, and it will go there and it will perform the risk analysis for the complete data. If you find any risks there, it will give you. So this is actually the data is already stored in the virtual folders. Okay, this is not online we are performing, this is offline, because the data is already stored in the virtual folders. We are performing the risk analysis for virtual folders. But this is not a good way, because you have to perform risk analysis for online data. Online data means when you are performing risk analysis, immediately one request will be sent to the destination system. Okay, it will fetch all the data. It will fetch all the data from the destination system to GRC virtual system, GRC system, and then the risk analysis will be performed. So that is online data. That means when you are performing the risk analysis, the request will go to the destination system, and data will be captured at the time immediately, and risk analysis will be performed. It is not performing the risk analysis for the stored data. It is fetching the data and then it is performing the risk analysis. So that is online, and offline is nothing but it will not send any request to the backend systems. Whatever data is already existed in the GRC system, it will perform the risk analysis with that. Hope you are getting my point. Otherwise, I'll explain again.
I have a question over here. So the online thing is system is not doing it online, right? So if I make some changes in some rows, and after that I immediately I do the risk analysis, will it reflect that changes in our risk analysis?
No, immediately it will not be reflected. So you have to do something in the backend system, then only it will come here. So that's what I'm saying. If you perform the risk analysis, offline risk analysis, if you perform offline risk analysis, these things will happen. Because every 5 minutes or 10 minutes, so many people are creating roles, so many people are changing the roles in the backend. So if you don't have the accurate data in the system, I mean like the recent data in the system, no, the risk analysis that you have performed is wrong. So that's why you should always perform online risk analysis. When you are performing online risk analysis, what will happen, like the GRC system will send a request to the backend system, in which system you are going to perform the risk analysis. It will fetch the data. First it will fetch the complete data. Then it will perform the risk analysis. That is online.
Okay.
So normally, Bhaskar, what will happen, like whenever you create any role, okay,
Yeah.
in GRC, if GRC is connecting the backend system always, It's really a lot of time taking, because it has to reach that system and it has to fetch all the data from that system. So it will really take a lot of time. So that's why what we are advising the clients, like whenever they create any role in the production system or development system or pre-production system, okay, immediately what they have to do is they have to run one background job. Once they run
Okay.
that background job, that role will come and it will be stored in the offline folders. So
Okay.
offline folders are also updating with the new data. Then
Okay.
it's really not needed to perform online risk analysis. We are advising in that way because GRC will take a lot of time, guys, to connect to the backend system and to fetch the data, and it should store it in a virtual folder. Then it should perform the risk analysis. So it will take a lot of time. To avoid this time periods, normally we'll perform the risk analysis in the midnight. Okay, but to avoid this thing, it will in 5.3. It used to take 14 hours. If that is
Okay.
around users count is around 10,000 and there are more systems, then it used to take 14 hours. For me, I was sitting in front of the system, I was not doing anything. I was just clicked on the risk analysis button. I waited for 14 hours, Then I got the report. So it was really tough time in 5.3, but when it comes to 10.1, they have applied a lot of analytical things in the background. So now we are getting this data. If you have maximum of 10,000 users, we are getting this data. Minimum it is taking 4.5 hours to 5 hours. That's it, not more than that.
Okay.
Yeah, but always when you are creating any role in the backend system, I would suggest run a background job, synchronization of job. We'll call it a synchronization of job. Run that job,
Yeah.
that data will come and be stored it in GRC system. It will be
Okay.
easy. But this risk analysis and all, Bhaskar, will not perform always. Whenever we need, we'll perform it like weekly ones or monthly ones.
Yeah. Generally
Yeah,
monthly we.
yeah, monthly. Normally it will be monthly, but some companies are following. Like if that is a pharma client, they'll request us to do it for every weekly.
Yeah.
So, Ganesh, it is clear, right? What is offline
Yes,
risk
yes,
analysis and online risk analysis?
yeah, I'm clear.
Okay,
But again,
very good.
what I was
So,
thinking
in the
is,
next one,
sir,
I don't need to.
sir,
Yeah,
just uh, uh, for synchronization, suppose for the backend systems, one user created one role or something, and then again we are leaving
yeah.
the option to him only, right, to run that synchronization job. When we have implemented this
No, he will
GRC,
not run that.
huh? Oh, okay,
No,
okay,
he will not run that.
okay.
No, he
So,
will not run that. I will come to that point. There is a synchronization of jobs concept. What we
huh.
have to do is we have to schedule background jobs for every 10 minutes or every 20 minutes.
Okay, sir.
In
Okay,
each client, they will run these background jobs every half an hour. So whatever changes are happened in this past half an hour, that will come and store in GRC system.
yes, yes.
It's a automatic activity. It's not manual activity. We will not request any user to do synchronization of jobs.
Huh, huh.
So at every half an hour, this background job will run in GRC system. So this background job will, if background job finds any new user created in any backend system or any new role created in the backend system or any new changes happen to user master data, that will come and update in the GRC system. So it's an automated thing.
Okay.
Okay, we'll see that today only. That synchronization of this we'll see today. And 1028, that is include expired users. When you are performing the risk analysis, if you want to include the expired users,
Not required, right?
if you want to include, you need to select this parameter, but it is not required at all and will not do it.
Yeah.
And the 1029, it's for logged users. Okay, and 1030, it is for include mitigation risks. For mitigated risk, we should not include them in when you are performing the risk analysis, guys. Okay, so you have to remember that. Normally, when you are performing risk analysis, you have to perform for all fresh users only, not mitigated users. Mitigated users, that means they have a risk already existed, but we are taking the necessary steps to avoid the risk. That is mitigation. We have already, mitigation controls are already placed for this user. So why you need to perform the risk analysis again and again on that same users? So it's not advisable. But some companies are doing it. It's their wish, but it's not advisable. And 1031, it is ignore critical roles and profiles. When you are performing the risk analysis, if you want to ignore the critical roles and profiles, this is also not advisable. Why to ignore critical roles and profiles? Because critical roles and profiles should not be assigned to any user, right? So system should suggest us this particular user is having critical role. You should take an action. this particular critical profile is assigned to so and so user, you should take action. System should advise that. So I would suggest this option should be present. I mean, like, it should not ignore, it should take into consideration. And 1032, that is include reference user when doing user analysis. This is other type, guys. Okay, you reference user type, you know that, right? The reference user is nothing but when you make any user as a reference user, his particular authorizations will be transposed to the other user. I mean, he is delegating all his permission to other user. So if you want to run risk analysis for the reference users, you can do that by selecting this parameter. And 1033, include role profile mitigation controls in risk analysis. Role or profile mitigating controls. See, initially we were discussing about mitigated users. Now we are discussing about mitigated roles or profiles. So you can do mitigation for role or you can do mitigation for user. So if you want to run risk analysis at role level, if you want to perform the risk analysis for mitigation control roles or mitigation control profiles, you have to apply this parameter value. Okay, getting this, or I mean going fast? Or 1034. So that is max number of objects in a package for parallel processing. Yeah, this is guys, like, actually when you are performing the risk analysis, okay, at a time what is the maximum count? Okay, that it can take like 5,000 entries or 10,000 entries or 20,000 entries or 1 lakh entries. What is the maximum count that will be, that it will show in your risk analysis review? You can select that. Okay, maximum number of objects. Getting my point? Once when you are performing the risk analysis, after performing the risk analysis, it will give you a report. Like, this is the risk ID, this is the user, this is the role assigned. So that's why you are getting this risk. So that is a report. So how many entries you want to see in that page, that you can decide from here. And the 1035 is important, guys. Send email notification in the monitor of the updated mitigated object. So this point we will discuss when you are discussing about the mitigation control, but I'll just give you a glance. Like, when you are performing any mitigation mitigation control, like, see, you got one risk. Okay, whenever you got any risk, you need to take a decision, like whether you want to create a mitigation ID or you want to remove the risk from the user. So sometimes business will say, yeah, we can understand that user is having the risk, but we want to continue because we don't have any other option. This user should perform this kind of activities in the system. So then we will tell business like, okay, we will continue, but if you are continuing in the same way, the next report also will be populated. So that will be an issue. So we advise you to create the mitigation control. If you have a proper control in place, then this user will not be populated in the next report. So that is the reason we will create the mitigation control. So when you create any mitigation control, okay, for the mitigation controls, if you run any risk analysis, someone should be notified, like, these many users, okay, these many users are having risks with the mitigation, but the mitigation control is already placed. So if you want to send that kind of notification to a particular person, you can apply him, you can enable this parameter. Then the person who is the approver of that particular mitigation control, he'll be notified with an email stating that so and so person has performed the risk analysis on so and so date. This person has populated in the risk analysis, but a proper mitigation control is already placed. No action to be taken. It will just come in that way. It's just for information. It's in risk analysis. See, show all objects in risk analysis means if you want to see all the objects in risk analysis, like critical level, medium level, high level, low level, and mitigated user risks and user groups, everything. All the objects that you can apply for apply when you are performing the risk analysis. If you want to see all the objects, you need to select this, but this is not important, guys, because system will give you, by default system will give you what are the important things you want to see. System will give you that information. You don't need to select it here. From that screen itself, you can choose whatever fields you want to see in that particular screen. There is a preferences tab. So by using that preferences tab, you can select what all the screen inputs that you want to see there. So this is not important. You don't need to remember that. And 1037, use SOD supplementary table for analysis. This is waste of thing because we are not using SOD supplementary tables now because we are creating the rule books and all. Okay. this SOD supplementary tables are nothing but, see, when you are upgrading from 5.3 to 10.1, okay, in 5.3 we have these SOD supplementary tables. So when you are upgrading from 5.3 to 10.1, you remember, Bhaskar, this one for the SOD supplementary table in 5.3? Because we used to have one Java table. So in that table, we used to enter this transaction should not be assigned to one user, like that. We'll be having that supplementary tables placed in 5.3. So if you want to copy, if you want to upgrade from 5.3 to 10.1, some business clients will say, no, there are some supplementary tables are already existed in 5.3. So we want to continue with them. We don't want to create a new rulebook for 10.1 and all. We don't want to use global ones. So we'll use the supplementary tables which are already placed in 5.3. So in that cases, we'll use this option. But this is not advisable at all. When they are going for GRC 10.1, they should use the maximum flexibility that is given by SGP. So 1046, then extend objects. What is this? Enabled connector. I don't know. Just double click there and see the parameter values for that. Okay. It's nothing but, see guys, when you want to perform the risk analysis, if you want to extend the objects for connector wise, if you want to do it, normally we'll do it for system wise only, but you just select that option, one ECC 51800, select the second one, anything, that is fine. So this extended object, enabled connectors. Select the priority. Is it giving any input? No, it's not giving any input. No, yeah, I don't want to give you the wrong information. So let me check this and give you. Okay, so these are the importance parameter values, okay, when you want to perform the risk analysis. As of now, this is important, guys, okay, as of now. But later we'll come to this screen again and again when you are performing, when we are discussing about the other tools, we'll come here again and again and we'll see the we'll see the other options. But as of now, only risk analysis is important. Okay.
Yes.
So what are the important ones that you have to remember? That you have to remember only 4 ones, that is 1023, 1024, 2526, and better remember 27 also. They will ask you sometime if you want to enable offline risk analysis, what is the process? So in that case, you need to tell them, like, if you want to enable the offline risk analysis, you just need to enable it in the application parameter settings. Okay. Ganesh, is there still GRC and WBC screen open?
No,
if it is still there, can you just open it?
We closed.
Okay, that's fine. Then we'll see it later. No problem. Okay, this is the first thing, guys. We have completed the first requirement now, and the second requirement is adding connectors to auth scenario. Okay, second step is adding connectors to auth scenario. This is so many times we have discussed about this. Yesterday we have discussed it, and before yesterday, last Sundays also we have discussed about this. Like, see, for which system you want to perform which activity. We have discussed this, right? For R3, if you want to perform only access risk analysis, so you need to enable one auth scenario for that. Ganesh, you remember this? We have discussed it yesterday.
Sir. This is what basically each SAP, non-SAP system, what activity we need to perform. That's what.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So I told you, like, there are 5 types of auth scenarios. Okay, if you don't remember, we'll see it again. Yeah. So note down adding connector to auth scenario. So go to SPRO, GRC folder.
I'm here.
You are in same screen, okay. SAP reference AMG. GRC folder. Integration framework and common component settings. then integration framework. Common component settings.
This is
Yeah. Integration framework, the first one. Okay, maintain connection settings, the third one.
automatic monitoring. That's what.
If you click here,
Yeah.
yeah, here just click there, integration scenario.
Yeah. Automatic. Yeah. Authorization.
Yeah. So here, guys, you can see which options you have to do for which system. I mean, like AM is automatic monitoring. This is for risk analysis and remediation only. That is access risk analysis. Authorization management. This is also for the same thing, access risk analysis. And PROV, that is provisioning for access request management. ROLMG, that is for BRM. SUPMG is for super user privileged management. So normally in one system, if you want to perform only two activities like super user privilege management or authorization management, in that case, for that connector, you should enable this integration scenario. So by using this, we'll be doing that. Okay. So now select authorization management. If you're not getting, you just ask me, I'll tell you again. Okay, now click on OK. Yesterday we did this. And now scenario connection, the second option. Scenario connection type link. Select this first. Select this auth. Complete line select. Yes, very good. So now scenario connector link. Scenario connector link. Yeah. Double click there.
Yeah.
It's not coming.
I double click.
Okay, now click on that maintain file paths for the logical connectors. Choose an entry from sub dialog. Sub scenario definition. No, just click on auth. Double click on auth. Function cannot be selected. What's happening here? Do one thing. Just select auth line and click on new entries. Yeah. Yes, now it came. Okay. So here sub scenario we have already sub scenario it's not required because authorization management is fine. Sub scenario is nothing but guys, we have a business process and sub process, right? So like this, if you want to create any sub scenario for authorization management, like risk analysis, mitigation, and other things like remediation, if you want to create sub scenarios, you can create it from here, but which is of no use, I think. I mean, authorization, we can, this is a by default one, we can do it. Now select scenario connection type link, Ganesh. Scenario connection type link. You just come back from the screen. First you have to come back from the screen. Yeah, now scenario connection type link and click on new entries. You again came back. Yeah. Scenario connection. Yeah. Connection type link. Yeah. New entries. Why it is still coming with sub scenario? this way. Can you give me permission once?
Yeah. Sorry.
Given. Okay, fine. So where is that connector option? Yesterday we have seen that, right? This one only, yeah. I got it now. Oof, again I came back. This one. Oh, we are not in the screen. See, Bhaskar and Ganesh. So, what we are doing here is like, for odd scenario, which target connector you want to apply this setting. Here you need to select the target connector. For that particular system, this particular odd scenario will be applied. Like see, for ECC 5800, I want to run risk analysis and remediation only. So in that case, you just select only odd scenario and give target connector as ECC 5. These are the prerequisite guides. These are not, when you are performing the risk analysis, you will not come here and check this. Okay, these are the prerequisite. You have to finish it when you are doing the configurations. So once you select it here, so it will come here like this. So for authorization management, it will be performed in EC 5001800. So for whatever system you want to perform risk analysis and remediation, all those targets you have to select one by one. First, you need to select auth scenario, select the auth scenario and click on maintain file path for logical connectors. So you just select this and give ECC 5001800, whatever system you want to give, you just give the target connector and save it. So for that particular system, this activity will be performed. Like the same way, for authorization management, I want to perform in other system as well. So you just select authorization management and click on this maintain file paths. So logical connectors. So here, now we have selected this connector. If you want to select for other connector, you can select that. Getting it?
Yes.
Like this, if you want to perform it for this system, you can select that and do it. Just save it. Okay, so if you want to perform super user privileged management, then just select SUPM there. Here, come here and do select
I have a question here. These are independent settings or development and transport?
These are the independent ones.
Okay.
You have to do it in each and every GRC system. There are some configurations that you can transport, but this particular setting, it's independent one. For normally we'll do it only in production system because we'll be having only GRC production and development. GRC PPD will not be there. It's not required. Testing will be performed in development system only. So what we will do normally, whatever things we can transport, it will ask for a transport request. But this setting, this particular integration scenario setting, this is independent. You have to do it in each and every client.
Okay.
So select that SUPMG. Guys, you have to remember this 5. Okay, these are important actually. They will ask you what is the integration scenarios, how many integration scenarios we have. You should tell them we have 5 integration scenarios. Automatic monitoring, authorization management, super user privilege management, like this. So now it is SUPMG part. So you can select same maintain paths and all, you can do it. So that is it. This way we have to, since we are performing the risk analysis, we need to select auth scenario. Okay, we want to perform risk analysis for so and so system. So first thing you need to decide in which system, what activity you want to perform. And then the third step of this pre-configurations is enabling BC sets. So hope we have already enabled all the BC sets, right? So this is just a pre-requirement, guys. So we need to check whether all the BC sets are activated or not. So can you tell me which transaction it is to check the BC sets information? Fast. Checking your books, huh? Okay. Good. CPR 20. So this is where you normally activate the BC sets. So when you are performing the access risk analysis, as I told you, you need to click here. For access analysis, we have 2 BC sets, important BC sets, either R3 BC set or a non-HR BC set. You have to select that. So this one we have discussed, right? BC sets activation. No. Initially we have discussed it. No.
Yes.
Okay. You said yeah. I heard it like no, yaar. So yeah. So here, if you can see, we are performing for risk analysis, right? So these are the important ones you have to enable. The first one is GRC RA rule set common. This is very important B set, so you have to do it. You have to activate this. Also, if you are performing the risk analysis for R3 system, only R3 system, okay, then you have to do this. SAP GRC rule set SAP R3. Or you can do enable like NHR also. NHR is nothing but the HR components will not be, HR transactions will not be there in this rule book. But normally this is advisable SAP R3 because most of the companies are using HR and R3 in the same system. So you have to enable or you have to activate GRAC RA rule set common and as well as GRAC RA rule set SAP R3 for ARA, access risk analysis. So I already told you how to activate this. You just need to double click here and click on that activate button, so it will get activated. So this is the third prerequisite that we have to check, and the last one is
generate.
Okay, you have to generate rules. The last one is generate rules. So before performing this activity, generate rules. Actually, I'll just explain you what is the use of that. Now we have, guys, we have activated all the rule books, right? By activating the BC sets. Activating the BC sets is nothing but we are activating the rule books. So once you have activated the rule books, what you need to do is you need to generate them. Like for example, we have SAP roles in the system. Okay, once you see the SAP roles available in the system, what you will do? You will generate the roles, right, to work with them. Otherwise, it will be in yellow color and it will not be useful. You need to generate that. Like the same way, now we have copied the rule books to our tables. So now the data is available in the system. So to work with that, you need to activate it. So that's what we will do in generate rules. But before that, I wanted to tell you one thing. Before generating the rules, uh, we'll be performing the synchronization of jobs. Then we'll see generate rules. If you perform this generate rules before synchronization of jobs, you'll not be able to see any data in the system, because this is a raw GRC system. Data is not there. So it's better first perform the synchronization of jobs, then perform the generating rules. Okay, so synchronization of jobs. So what is the use of synchronization of jobs? Now our GRC system is ready to perform the risk analysis, but because we have activated the BC sets, we have activated the auth scenario, and we have activated the parameters, and all the pre-configurations, post-configurations of GRC and access controller completed. So now our GRC system is available to perform the risk analysis. But to perform the risk analysis, we need to have the data, right? We need to have the data from backend system. We are connected. The connections are established. Like backend system and GRC system is now connected. But we have to pull the data from backend system to GRC system. If the data is available in GRC system, then only we can perform the risk analysis. If the data is not there, how can you perform the risk analysis? You have a rule book, but you need to have the users list, right? You need to have the users list. You need to have the users and role mapping of the backend system, and you need to have the transaction authorization mapping of the backend system, and you need to have the change documents of backend system and all. So if you have that data available in GRC system, then only you will be able to perform the risk analysis. So to fetch this data, this kind of data from the backend system, will be running the synchronization of jobs. Got it? This is very important point, guys.
Yeah.
So now go to SAP reference IMG, Ganesh. Yeah, GRC folder. Access control folder, expand it. So here, if you can see, there is a separate folder for synchronization jobs, right? So expand it. So here you can see there are different types of background jobs available, guys. Different types of background jobs. So from this synchronization of jobs, definitely you will get 2 questions. If you are saying I've implemented the GRC, then they will definitely ask you 2 questions from here. At least 2 questions, I would say. What is the use of synchronization of jobs? And if I want to fetch the transaction information, which synchronization of job I will use? And is there any possibility to do this with a transaction? Because now we are coming through a path, right? Like SPRO and then governance risk and folder and access control and synchronization of. This is a path. But are there any direct transactions available? Are there any direct tables to see this data? So this kind of questions you will get. So I'll explain you each and every job here. So the first one is authorization sync. Okay, authorization sync is nothing but, guys, with the help of this authorization sync, you can fetch the backend system transaction and authorization object link case information, like which transaction is having which authorization object and which authorization field, which values. That is nothing but complete SU24 data, I would say. You know about SU24, right? This SU24 will give you the transaction and authorization object information. So you need to have that particular information in your GRC system. So if you want to get that data from your backend system to GRC, you need to do authorization sync. This authorization sync will help you to fetch SU24 data from backend system to frontend. Frontend is nothing but GRC. And the next one is repository object sync. What is repository object sync? This repository, but you have now authorization object and transaction information. You need to have user, role, profiles information, right? So to fetch users, roles, and the profiles information from backend system to frontend, you will do repository object sync. And the third one is action usage sync. What is action usage sync? Action usage sync is nothing but, guys, now you have the authorization and transaction mapping, you have the user role mapping, you have user profile mapping, you have the complete list of roles, you have complete list of users, you have complete list of profiles. But now sometimes we need to find how many transactions a user has executed in the last month and how many transactions a user has executed in the last 1 year period, through which role has executed it. So if you want to know that information, guys, you need to have this action usage sync. Okay, with action usage sync, you can get the complete list of action usage data of all the users in backend systems. Is it clear? These three?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Complete.
Okay. For Bhaskar, it will be clear because he's working on it. That's fine. And the next one is role usage sync. Okay. So by using action usage sync, action is nothing but a transaction in GRC. Okay. We call transaction as action in GRC. We normally don't call transactions. We call it as action. Okay. Action and permission. Permission is nothing but authorization object. Action is nothing but transaction. So if you want to find the transaction usage information, you need to do this synchronization, action usage sync case. But role usage sync case, what is the role usage sync case? If you want to do the role usage information of particular user, then you have to do the role usage sync. So these are the 4 important synchronization of jobs for access risk analysis. The remaining 3 jobs or 4 jobs, those are for firefighter. So when we are discussing about the EIM, emergency access management, I'll tell you. We'll discuss at that time. Okay, so now the first one, execute authorization sync. So here, guys, you need to give the connector information, like from which system you want to fetch the data. Yeah, click there. For example, if you want to fetch the data from ECC 5 system, ECC 5800 is our R3 system, right? Yeah. So from that system, if you want to fetch the data, just click that, select that, okay? And I mean, if you want to fetch the data from multiple systems, then you can use that. Otherwise, if you want to fetch it from only one system, then you just select that. So for legacy systems, guys, that is not for R3 systems, that is for legacy systems, that means third-party systems. So if you are fetching the data from third-party systems, you need to select that connector. Yeah. Now just select the connector and execute. That's it. The data will be. Oh, you executed it.
Oh, sorry.
It will take time now. No problem, no problem. You need to know, right? So once you executed it, what it will do? This is action usage sync. Action usage sync is nothing but the complete SU24 data. So SU24 data, normally it will be stored in 2 tables. This is just for your information. This is an R3 thing, but I'm just telling you for your information. So the complete SU24 data will be stored in 2 backend tables of R3 system. So those are USOBT_C and USOBX_C. So now when we are performing the synchronization of job, it will go to R3 system first and it will connect these 2 tables, USOBT_C and USOBX_C. It will fetch the data from that tables and it will store in GRC tables. So you need to know the GRC tables as well. They will ask what is the R3 table and what is the GRC table. So now I have explained the use of this job. Now I will tell you what are the different ways to get this data. Okay, so now this is the first way. You can come to SPRO and you can go to GRC folder, access control and synchronization of jobs, then you can do it. But you can do it through a program and you can do it through a transaction also. So note down what is the program. So there is a program to fetch this kind of information. So that is GRAC underscore PFCZ underscore authorization underscore sync. GRAC underscore PFCZ underscore authorization underscore sync. So this is to run the authorization sync. This is a report. So normally by using which transaction will execute the reports? We use SA38 transaction to execute the report. So first you have to go to SA38, then give this report there, report name GRAC underscore PFCZ underscore authorization underscore sync SYNC. Then you'll be routed to the same screen like this. Getting it? Then you can do this activity by transaction also, guys. You have a transaction created for this. So the transaction, this is important one, note down, that is GRAC underscore auth underscore sync. GRAC underscore auth underscore sync. This is the transaction. Okay. So you need to know in which table, in which GRC table this data will be stored, right? So the table, note down the GRC table. SAP tables, I guess you know that. So the GRC table is, this is a big table, but note down GRAC, GRAC, ACT,
ACB.
1 minute, I'll just ping you on chat window. Otherwise,
Yeah. Good.
you will not get these details in the internet also, guys. This is a complete,
Yeah.
you will not get this kind of details in the internet. If you find it also, you will not get that, because GRC tables are not written in the internet yet. This is complete internal data. So this is the table for authorization sync. Okay, we are just discussing about authorization sync, so that's why I have given the authorization sync table in GRC. But if you want to know the SAP table, as I already told you, that is USOBT underscore C and USOBX underscore C. So from this USOBT underscore C and USOBX, it will fetch the data and it will be pasted in the authorization sync table. The next one is repository objects. Ganesh, can you cancel this because it is taking time?
Yeah,
If you have time, you can do it later.
but even it's canceling also not happening. That's a, yeah, it's,
Yeah, the same. You have to click on that, that button. Stop, execute the transaction. No, not that one. Next to program, you have a small button, right? Yeah, there.
this one, right?
Just click there. Yeah, correct. Stop transaction.
Oh, thanks.
Now again go to that SPRO. So guys, I mean, you can execute for one thing. Go to SA38. We'll just see whether this particular report is working in the system or not. SA38. Execute the report that I just told you.
That program.
It's no, you are giving the wrong name here. That is transaction.
Okay.
It's not program.
GRAC PF.
Yeah. GRAC underscore PFCC underscore.
1 minute.
It's fine, it's fine. You can give it here also. The same screen, right? You
Yeah.
can see the same screen here. So this is the program. Now execute the transaction. Come back. Yeah, from here you give GRC underscore auth underscore sync. Same screen, right? Yeah, this is what I wanted to show you. Okay, so you can do this activity with 3 ways, and I have given you the tables also. And do I need to give anything else? Anything else? Okay, nothing. But there is one point that I have to tell you about the background jobs. Okay, but we have a separate topic for background jobs. When I'm discussing about the background jobs, I will tell you how to do this activity in the background. Because I told you, Ganesh, right? Like the synchronization will happen automatically. But if you see now, I'm just telling you manual process, like execute the transaction, do this, do that. This is a manual process. I will tell you how to do it in the background after some classes, because we have this background job session. So in that session, I'll tell you that how to schedule all these things in the background. And the next one is repository object thing, guys. This repository object thing, if you click there, as I told you, you can get the input from profile, roles, and users. Okay, all this data will be fetched from the backend system to front-end system. So there are two modes. Okay, incremental sync mode and full sync mode. This is same as you know, offline data and online data. Incremental sync mode and full sync mode is nothing but we have already discussed this in BC sets. That is, it override the data, and there is something expert mode, and normal mode. Same as that. The incremental sync mode is nothing but, for example, if you are performing this activity for the first time, you need to do it in full sync, because all the transaction data will be fetched from all the users information, all the roles information, all the profiles information will be fetched from the backend system to front end. But once after you have data available in GRC system, if you are performing this activity the next time, you can select incremental sync. At that time, what GRC system will do, it will just check what are the new entries. It will just check the change in documents, and it will find what are the new entries in that system. Only the new entries will be copied from backend to front end. That is incremental sync mode. So for the first time, you just perform it as a full sync mode, and if you are performing it the second time, do it in incremental mode. The same way, you have to select the connector and execute. Is that fine?
Yeah.
Okay. So you practice it, guys. Okay, I'm just giving you I'm just showing you the screens, but I'm not performing it completely because it will take a lot of time, because every data, all the data it should fetch from the backend. So it will take some time. Since you will be having time today, this is Sunday, right? So you will be having time. So you practice it and let me know if you are finding any errors. Okay, so the same way for repository object sync also, we have some transactions and programs. So note down that. So to do profile sync, because by using synchronization of this repository object sync, you can get profile data, role data, and user data, right? So for these three activities, you have three different transactions. So the first transaction is for profile sync, that is GRAC underscore profile underscore sync. And role sync, for to do role sync, you need to use a transaction GRAC underscore role underscore sync. These are easy to remember actually. To do user sync, you need to execute a transaction GRAC underscore user underscore sync. These are the three transactions. This to do a repository sync is GRAC underscore repository underscore object underscore sync. GRAC underscore repository underscore object underscore sync. This data, guys, once you fetch this data now, this data will be stored in different tables, different GRC tables. So I'll ping you all those, you can note it down. GRC profile, first one. GRC roll con. This is a composite role. This is for organizational values of roles. If you want to find the user's information, you have to get into this table. Okay, so these are the different tables for repository object sync. Till you get good job na, you just keep these tables with you, don't disclose with others. These are the important interview questions, they'll ask you for sure, but most of the guys don't know this thing. And the last one is action user sync, guys. You note it down, all these things?
Yeah.
Okay, now click on that action user sync. Yeah, so I already explained you what is the use of this action user sync. Action user sync is nothing but the transaction uses information. So normally in R3 system, guys, we have a transaction called, which is that one? Yeah, I just pinged you. This is ST03N. By using this ST03N, we call it as workload monitor. By using this transaction, you can fetch how many transactions a user has executed in last month or 3 months. And also, if you know the transaction, how many users has used this transaction in the last 3 months, you can get that information. Okay, so like the same way, GRC, what it will do, GRC will fetch this information from this transaction from the backend, that is ST03N, and it will keep it in the GRC table. So whenever any user want to find, for example, how many transactions this user has executed in so and so system, then GRC will go there and it will fetch this information by using the synchronization of job. So you just need to select the connector. If you want to find that information for one user, you can give the user name, user ID there. Otherwise, if you want to fetch this information for all the users, just keep it blank, don't give anything and just execute. It will fetch the information for all the users. Don't give star. Okay, if you give star, it will not take here. Asterisk values will not be applicable. So keep it blank and give the connector name execute. Okay, so to do this activity, we have a transaction and we have a program. Better note it down. The transaction is GRAC underscore ACT underscore usage underscore sync. GRAC underscore ACT underscore usage underscore sync. and the program is GRC underscore action underscore usage underscore sync. GRC underscore action underscore usage underscore sync. I have control, right, Ganesh?
Yeah.
Yes. So here you have an option called execute in background, right? So if you want to schedule a background job for this, if you want to run this activity every 10 minutes or every 15 minutes or every 30 minutes, what you have to do is you have to schedule this activity in the background. So to do that, we'll use this option, execute in background. For every screen, for all these 3 background jobs we just discussed, right? For all of them, you can go to program and you can see execute in background. Just click there, execute in background. So if you want to get this data in, prints, you can do it. Otherwise, just click OK. So here, you will get this screen, guys. Once you get this screen, when you want to run this background job, okay, you have to select all the options. You have to create it. So first one, date and time, immediate. If you want to run this job immediately, then you can click on immediate. So it will run in the background. It will not eat your dialog work processes in the front end system. So it will run in the background. Or otherwise, normally, as I told you, we need to run it for every 10 minutes or 20 minutes, right? It's a periodic job. Then it will be a periodic job. So you just select periodic job option and give the date and start date. Okay, schedule start date when it has to start, and this one time you have to give, like start date I'll just enter all the details, then you will get clarified. Okay, start date as today's date I'll give. Oh, it's 2015. Something I'll give like 2016 05. Today is 16th, no, 15th. So this is a start date and time I have to select. Bhaskar, do you know how to schedule the background jobs? Normally it's not our duty, we'll not do it. We'll request basis consultants to do it. But in GRC, guys, you have to do this. In GRC, basis guys will not do these things. You have to do it. So, remember, start after, don't give the dates, just give time. Every 10 minutes, right, you have to start. Anything, you can give 1 hour or something like that. Okay, you have to give the date also, I think. Just give the same date, like today's date. And here you have periodic values. So give it. So here you have to select hourly. So these are the periodic values, guys. You can run this background job hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, or other period. So you just select hourly. Okay, now this background job will run every hour. Getting my point?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So half an hour is not possible. It will run for every 1 hour.
In other periods, you can put that minutes.
Where?
The other period is there, right? The last option.
Okay, let me check that.
Minutes.
Here you can put minute, or if you put minute.
Yeah, correct. Minutes.
Okay, minutes.
It's 10 minutes. Good.
Yeah.
So if you want to run this job for every 10 minutes, you can do it. Yes. Cool. What we are doing is like, we are doing it for hours, and also, yeah, there is one job, yeah, which is running on minutes also. Yes, this is correct. So other period, select other period. Ganesh,
Okay.
hope you get it. So yeah, this is what you just need to select the periodic job and just give these details. Now everything is done. You just save it. So this background job will run. Last time is earlier than the start time.
No, it is 2015 we have put.
Okay, maybe
That's that, yeah,
2015 we have put. Yeah.
that's fine.
So you just give all the details and click OK. That's it.
Yeah.
It will run. Okay, this is how normally we'll schedule the background jobs. Otherwise, you have one more option to schedule the background jobs, but that option is somewhat critical, like SM36. From SM36 also you can do it, but for that, what you have to do is you need to define the steps. Okay, that part normally do by basis, guys. So if you are defining the background jobs, I would suggest do it from here. If you have very good knowledge on SM36, you can do it from there as well. Right, Bhaskar?
Yes, yes. It can be
Okay.
done in 36.
It can done in both the ways, but normally it is advisable because for security consultant it's very easy. It's a simple screen, you can select everything there. But SM36 screen, it's somewhat complicated. You have to define the steps there.
Yeah. Even the program name we have to put over there.
Yeah, you have to give program name and you have to create the variant. Okay, guys. So these are the 3 background jobs. The one more background job is role usage sync, right? So this is of the same thing, guys. The role usage sync, just execute it. We have already explained it, the role usage sync. And I'll give you some tips, like whenever you are in any screen, if you want to check which transaction you are in, you just click here and you will get to know the program name and transaction name. This is how I fetch that information. I'm giving you program name and transaction information, right? So this was not in the internet or this was not in the books, GRC 300 and all. You just need to find it in this way. What is the program and what is the transaction? For every screen, if you come to other synchronization job screens also, you can see that transaction. So for transaction, the role usage sync transaction is GRAC underscore role underscore usage underscore sync. For program, it is GRAC underscore role underscore usage underscore sync. Same for both, it is same program and transaction. Getting, sir, Ganesh?
Sir.
So then this will fetch you the role usage sync information. Like in role, you will be having 5 transactions. So how many transactions user has executed till this date, and what are all the transactions that no one has used it. This is very, very superb thing in GRC. But this kind of information, if you want to fetch in your R3 system, guys, not at all possible. I have not seen this option in R3 system. By using GRC only you can do this. Only by using GRC you can do this. There is no option to fetch the role usage information in R3. I am sure about it because I was trying for that since long, but it is not there. But only GRC, by using GRC you can do that. So you can say this is an advantage of GRC. So here one more point I just wanted to tell you, like, see, when you are fetching this data, normally how much amount of data, okay, it is fetching from one go. I mean, like in one go, how much of data is fetching? You can control that. Normally it will fetch lot of data, but if you want to control that, you can control it by using a parameter value. Okay, so that parameter you can again find it through maintain configuration settings. Go there. Here, go to new entries. Select the performance. Here you have to select the parameter group as performance, and there is a parameter ID that is 1123. I think if I remember correctly, that is 1123. Otherwise, yeah, this one only. Batch size for profile sync, role sync, batch size for user sync, batch size for batch risk analysis. Here you have all these values. Okay, So for example, for user sync, when user sync is performing, how much of data at one go it should come. You can give the profile value, parameter value. No, you have to enter the value. Like at a time, it's like 5,000 entries. Okay, if you want to fetch 5,000 entries at a time, just give 5,000 there. So at a time, you will get 5,000 entries. One go it will fetch 5,000 entries, and again it will run, and again it will fetch 5,000 entries, like that. If you want to increase the size to 1 lakh, you can do it. Getting it, this is somewhat important, guys, because if you are not increasing the parameter value size here, it will take a lot of time, because the default value is 100. So it will fetch 100 entries at a time. So it will take a lot of time to fetch the complete data. If you give it's 1 lakh or 2 lakhs, then it will fetch the entries at a time. At one go, it will fetch all the entries. Noted it? The parameter values 1123 to 1122 to 1123 or 1121 to 1124. Okay?
Yeah.
I'll take
Yeah.
it as okay if you're not talking. Then generating the last one is what is that I told you how to discuss after sync.
Generating rule set.
Generate SOD rules, na? Yeah. So here now, same here. To generate the rules, you have one folder called SOD rules. Where it is going? See?
We're in access control.
Yeah, we are in access control. My God, stop.
Yeah.
So
Access
here,
risk analysis.
under access risk analysis, you have this SOD rules, right? So go there. Here you have generate SOD rules, right? So by using this option, by using this folder, you can download SOD rules, upload SOD rules, delete SOD rules, transport SOD rules. All these options I will tell you once we have created the risk rules in the system. Okay. With this step will be completing the pre-configurations. So we'll be discussing post configurations. If you are okay, we'll discuss it today. Otherwise, we'll discuss it next week. So this is generate SOD rules. So to generate the SOD rules, you just click here. Okay, you have to give some risk ID, because that's why I don't want to tell you this, because we don't know what is a risk ID and what is how it look like, and all, because we have not discussed it yet. So this one also we'll discuss it later once we have discussed the post configurations of access risk analysis. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what I have to tell you. So shall we proceed, or
We'll
discuss
talk
next week?
next week. Yeah.
What's the time in India?
It's 4:18.
Oh, so 2.5 hours today. Okay. Okay, guys. Then see you next week.
Yeah.
Ganesh.
Next week on Saturday.
Next week, yeah, Saturday and Sunday only. But next to next week, I have 4 days holidays on Friday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
So we can utilize that if you are okay. Otherwise, again Saturday, Sunday. That's it.
Okay, fine.
So we can utilize that, means we can complete the GRC. We can complete GRC
Okay.
on 4 days. If we use those 4 days, we can complete.
After ARA, we will go to that user provisioning.
Yeah, ARA and ARM are the biggest parts. It will take some time, but ERM and BRM is very easy. It will be completed within one class.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So in ARM, it will take some time because I have to explain you about the workflow concept. So that workflow will take some time.
Yeah,
ERF plus rules and agent rules and all I have to explain you. So that will take some time.
okay.
So do you have any expectations like by this time I should complete GRC and all?
No, I don't have any.
Okay. If you, I mean, if you don't have any priorities like I should complete it by this month end or I should complete it by next month and like that, but someone will. Yesterday, Malini was telling me it's already dragging. We have to complete this as soon as we can. But I don't want to. I mean, really, I don't like it. I don't want to rush. So I told her that it will take some time. By month end, at least I can try to complete it. I can do it here because I have some time today. I can say 2 more hours, next 2 more hours, and I can do it. But it will really not help you if I tell everything on single day. It's
Yes.
difficult. And today she not joined again.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sharing these recordings actually. Okay. So I put up that common folder, right? Common drive. So there I am putting
They'll
it.
not go through that, Ganesh. I'm 100% sure they will not go through that.
Oh,
Before joining the session in next week also, if you put there also, they'll not go through it. This Jagyan, he is not joined today. Next week, if you are discussing new topic, he'll be getting a lot of doubts. Again, I have to explain him the, completed classes. Then only he'll get to know. So yeah, you just keep everything in that folder. So
yeah.
if they asked about anything and with the things which we have already discussed, I'll tell them just first go through the session, then come back to me.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Because yesterday Bhaskar was not attended the session, but he informed me that I have some work, I will not attend the session. Again, I am pinging him personally also, why are you not attending? But he is not responding, I don't know, like Kamal.
Yeah, Kamal is totally. I don't know whether he dropped off or.
He's completely isolated, I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
what happened to him.
Yes. Probably I'll sometime I'll next week. I'm traveling this week to Hyderabad, Krishna sir. So I'll try to
Oh, great.
yeah. So
No, it's not, you don't need to worry about that, Ganesh sir. What I'll say is, Pavitra should take care of that because she's the organizer, she should take care of that. We don't need to worry.
no,
So we'll
that's
just continue with our
yeah,
classes.
yeah, yeah. We will
But
continue, but because he was we started right. We both
he
started
was
with
with
you.
us for
So
security.
yeah,
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 that's
yeah.
what
So
I was
I
worried. That's
was
what I was asking you to check last week.
yeah.
But Pavitra is also saying he's not responding at all. We have called so many times, but he's not responding. Maybe he's in some busy
Priorities
work
might have
or we
changed.
don't know
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fine, sir. So next week, Saturday, 2 o'clock, no, sir?
For GRC, but for you tomorrow.
Yeah, for me tomorrow. Fine.
Yeah. So
So,
you just schedule some time and at least if you have Skype, we can discuss it. That ID also not required for us, meeting ID and all. So if you have some time, you just ping me on WhatsApp. So we'll sit and discuss the things.
fine. Fine. So tomorrow is a holiday for you at your place?
Yeah, yeah. Tomorrow is a holiday for me. Yeah, I'll be available.
Uh-huh. Then fine. We'll catch it.
Okay.
Right,
Thanks,
sir.
Bhaskar. Thanks,
Great.
Ganesh.
Yeah.
Have a great weekend. Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye, Bhaskar.
Bye bye.